We are back. I've got new tires for the Mustang, and that's what this video is going to be, is fixing all the damage from the burnout, which I've already made 2 videos of. So if you didn't know, I tried to do a burnout and destroyed a U-joint, but I finally got the right U-joint. There was an issue in the last video where I couldn't get that put in. Figured out what it was. It was a 434. The U-joint I needed is a 430. The 434 U-joint is actually for a 390 or 427 V8. I have a 302. So buy VIN 289/0200. 0200, 289 are the same U-joint. You didn't ask. Anyways, got new tires in the truck. I'm about to get them on here. I will see you all in just a second. I will explain things a little bit further. As you know, if you have a car, especially a project car on jack stands, that is a very precarious situation. One day too long, they get entirely too comfortable, and then they just want to be on jack stands forever. And we can't have that. So I've got new tires. The new leaf springs are on the way. I put them in the cab because I had to go to work after I got them, and I didn't want anybody messing with it at work, so I just threw them in there. But anyways, I got the new tires for it. I got the leaf springs ordered. They're probably not going to be in for about another week. That's fine. I can move it around the yard. I can move it. I could probably even drive it really if I needed to on the bent leaf springs that are in it. Again, damage from the burnout is that right there. Leaf springs should not be bent that way. So anyways, I'm going to start by getting this thing on back on its wheels. Actually, no, I'm going to start by getting the U-joint in. So I'll press in that U-joint real quick, show you what that looks like. Again, probably going to put a little bit of toe in the front, actually a little less toe. It's kind of towed in right now, so I'm going to take that out. But let's get this U-joint in. Okay, got my slip yoke here. I've got my U-joint here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the caps off very carefully like this, trying to keep the rollers straight. You don't want the rollers that are down in there to fall out. So then what I can do is take this, damn it. Good news, they didn't fall out. Let me just push these back in here. That was almost really bad. Anyways, push these rollers back in here, and I'm going to take this U-joint and slide it down inside, if I can get it right, but I'm stupid. Slide the U-joint down inside of there like this. I'm probably going to do this side first. I will take my U-joint, line it up like this, and start to push it in. Exciting stuff. Now I got it kind of sort of started on the bottom. I don't have a press with me, so instead I'm just going to take this welding clamp and give it a little pusheroo up into place. Let me crank this down just a little bit. This will work in a pinch if you don't have any other way of doing it. It's just, you know, take your time. I don't like hammering on it. I was hammering on them in the last video. Is it flush? Yep, I got that one flush. So I don't like hammering on them because it knocks the rollers loose, and then you have to deal with a roller coming out or falling out, which you really do not want the rollers falling out. So anyways, I'm gonna get this one pressed in. I might take a C-clamp to this because this isn't working as well as I'd hoped it would, but that's kind of good. You want you want your U-joints to be a little tight. You don't want them to be crazy. There we go. Just slowly work it in there, and then we'll get it in the rest of the way. All right, so that side's kind of started. I'm going to now very, very gently start this other side. Again, careful not to drop any rollers. All right, I'll be back in a second. Okay, next thing's next. I'm going to go ahead and get the drive shaft back in. I'm underneath the car. Use the transmission over there. If you've never put a drive shaft in before, it's not really hard. Let me try to balance my camera a little better. Yeah, that'll work. It's not really hard. Sort of slide it up underneath the car like you see me doing now. And then I'm going to get the slip yoke in first. So I'm going to try to get that sort of lined up where it should go. Just sort of work it around, and then it just kind of twist it. And you'll find where it keys into the transmission, right there. Now, if you don't have a lot of clearance, what I find helps, let me just, come on now. Come on now. That doesn't want to go past the lock. That's interesting. Hang on. I might have to pull it out. Now it's stuck. Really? I got really frustrated last night and I walked away. That's good. That's what you should do. When you get frustrated, when you get angry, walk away. And I was getting angry because the drive shaft just wouldn't seat into the transmission, and I thought about it all night long. It bothered me. I couldn't figure it out. There's the old girl behind me. And I figured out what happened. So I don't know if this is gonna come out on camera. I'll try. But up inside there, let me see here, is the slip yoke. And you might not be able to tell, but I bent it. And by bent it, I mean, hang on. There. By bent it, I mean that it has the internal splines. And what was happening is the drive shaft just wasn't going all the way into the transmission. I thought, it's weird. I know it bottoms all the way out. Like if I go all the way forward, it goes all the way to that little rubber bushing and sort of squishes. And I was like, it's not doing that. It's stopping like that short, and it won't go any further. Well, yeah, it's bent about halfway down in there. You can see a little twist. So as it turns out, the slip yoke is actually bad. So I need to get a new slip yoke for it. CJ Pony Parts has them. I think I'll order one from CJ Pony Parts, which CJ Pony Parts, y'all don't sponsor the channel. CJ Pony Parts, if you want to sponsor the channel, maybe even I will reach out to you. I have a really pretty 1967 Ford Mustang that I'm trying to put back together, and I would love it if y'all would, help your boy out with that. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. So I'm going to order a slip yoke for it. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get the wheels back on it so I can get it off jack stands. The pavement in my barn is very nice, but if things sit on it for too long, they kind of sink into it a little bit. So I'm going to put the wheels and everything back on it and at least set it on the ground because I'm waiting on parts. It's really easy to put a jack underneath the back of this thing and just lift the back of the car up in order to get underneath there. So I'm going to do that. That's a new leaf spring. These are going to get replaced. So these finally came in. The weather looks like it's about to rain, so it's nice and cool at the current moment. So I'm going to go ahead and get this apart. I'm going to try to just do one side at a time. I've ordered the slip yoke for the drive shaft, but that's not going to be here for another couple days. But I want to get the leaf springs done at the same time. In that box, I have California Pony Cars subframe connectors. So I'm going to put those in as well because they use the leaf spring bolt. I think they even come with a longer leaf spring bolt. So let's get this apart, and then I'm just going to show you all what the finished product is and tell you about the trials and tribulations that I had to overcome along the way. This is a 4.5 leaf spring, meaning it has an extra half leaf right here. If I flip it on its side, you can see it has this extra half leaf to allegedly help with axle wrap. Now this was supposed to be black, but they're gray, so that's annoying. Off camera, that was a pain, but I got one side down. Now, so these are 1-inch low-ring springs, 4-leaf. Like I said, there you go. You got your front bolt, you got your shackle back there, and then you got your mounting plate. The only thing that I struggled with a little bit was this California Pony Cars subframe connector. It's not put in up there. I just have the bolt in loosely back here. I had to take the fuel line shield off to get it in place. So I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe I have to bend this fuel line. I don't know, but there's nothing, it's just hanging right here right now. So I wanna fix that. But the subframe connector's in there, which is nice. That'll give me a place to jack the car. It'll also give me something to hang the exhaust from. I had to pull the exhaust off this side to get it in. If you didn't know, my exhaust is just a Cherry Bomb 16-inch glass pack from an open header. There's no H-pipe, there's no X-pipe. I want an X-pipe, I just don't have one in it currently. I'll probably put one in eventually. But anyways, this is all in, so I'll get back to y'all when I got the other side in. Let me show you this old spring. If you watched the last video, you saw me do the burnout, you saw me break it. But there's the front of the leaf spring, nice and bent. So, new leaf springs from CJ Pony Parts. Again, they don't sponsor the channel, but if y'all want to sponsor the channel, I'm certainly open to that. So I'm gonna set my tools aside. It's hot, I'm done for the day. I think I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow. I will give you all an update here in just a second. The new slip yoke is here. Let's get it changed. Voila. I really need to get a press. I'm not a fan of hammering in U-joints, but I don't have a better choice. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the car jacked up a little bit higher, and I'm gonna get this drive shaft put back in. Hopefully it should go in smooth this side, seeing as the new slip yoke isn't twisted. There's the old one. I don't know if it came out on camera. It's straight, 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 straight. And then right about here, the splines go like that, which probably actually means it's twisted this way. So the bottom is fine, and this up here is what's actually twisted. But at any rate, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and get that back in. All right, again, this shouldn't be all that much fun, but let's see here. Ow. if I just give it a little shot here in the back, it should go in the rest of the way. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn y'all off. I got it up here into the yoke of the rear end, but I unfortunately cannot film it and slide it into place. It's too much. So I'll come back when it's bolted in. My GoPro just shut off on me, but the moment has come. I've got the exhaust back in. It's just hanging off of the subframe connector for now. I've got the drive shaft in. I don't know how much of that you can see, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off the jacks and I'm gonna go take it for a drive. Fingers crossed nothing else is broken. We're not really gonna know until we take it down the road and see if it shakes. It's got new tires on it. I fixed the alignment, so if all goes well, you'll see me in the car. If not, I'll be doing an outro. All right, let's put it in gear, see what happens. It's moving. That's more than it was doing. We are so back. I'm just gonna be easy driving around the neighborhood. I need to check the tire pressure in the wheels and I need to torque everything down, but it's moving under its own power. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. The Mustang is back. Off camera, I'm gonna take it for a run down the road. Probably, I'm not gonna go fast, maybe like 30, 40 miles an hour, just to see if there's any new vibrations or anything. I can tell you already, these new tires, these new Falcon tires are dragging the fenders a little bit, so I might have to roll my fenders. I think it's just because the tread is taller on these. It's a little taller than or a little more aggressive than the tread I had on those old Nankings, but there's still quite a bit of work to do. Still a lot that needs to be done. It's now lowered an inch in the back. It has a Shelby 1-inch drop in the front, but she's back on the road. Maybe I'm gonna take it to work on Friday. I don't know, we'll see. But this is gonna do it all for this video. I realize this is outside of my normal aircraft content. Just a reminder, I do have new merch live down below. It's only a couple of things, but I've got some, I guess, okay, decent designs. One of the shirts was inspired by this car and its original color. So make sure if you want one of those, you go buy one. I've also got coffee cups and hats, all that good stuff. As always, make sure you go build something and be easy.